So this is the broiler operation. I think we've got about 700 birds out here right now in, I think, 9 cages. Each one of these cages gets moved forward a full 10 feet every day, so they're onto fresh grass. And the water's in the buckets on top, and it just runs gravity down to those red waters you see. They started all the way at the hedgerow on the other end when they were so small that some of them would jump right through the chicken wire, but we had a good hot summer, and so it wasn't a problem. But we can cover all this ground in one season. We're spreading in the 9-week season of broilers, that is, but all the manure is spread the day of, and all the birds are moving away from their manure right then and there. And so I think I mentioned it with the laying hens, but when you don't have any ammonia problems in your barn, and these are obviously not really barn shelters, but when you've got really clean air for a broiler, then it basically eliminates the risk of any salmonella contamination in your meat. And then the birds getting access to all this fresh greenery and grazing whatever they want out of it, they're unbelievably healthy. So your mortality rate just about completely disappears. You get more color in the meat. With all the greenery, their liver stays in way better shape, and you don't end up with the same bacterial risks in the meat. And you get more color in your meat, just more vibrancy. The birds are more alert and active, and they're happy. You can see them. There's no stress on any of these birds. They're just living the dream. And the structure has enough shelter so that they don't get overheated. The sheeting is aluminum so that it reflects all the sunlight. There's 1/4 of it that's open so that the sun can come in, and they can sunbathe if the weather's appropriate, or they can hide away from the sun if it's not. The roof is low enough that with a bunch of birds in there, they can stay warm and cluster together. So it's a beautiful portable model. And if the customers want more chickens, well, then you just build one more cage. You're not building a whole new $1 million, $2 million barn. And again, there's no fans running. There's no electricity running all these systems. It's just very, very simple, basic agriculture. And yet it's beautiful. It's not invasive. It's not noisy. The reason why this system works, especially from a predator perspective, is because it's a couple of reasons. Obviously, we have a livestock guardian dog, but also because when you continually move structures, your predators remain uncertain about what's happening. And people don't think about that, but when a fox tries to figure out your hen house and figure out how to dig a hole underneath, they look at it one night and they scout it out and they make sure nobody's around, and they go home and they come back the next day and they make sure it's still a safe job. And then maybe they come back the next day, and now's the day they're going to tunnel and make their plan. And when there's continual human activity and continual movement, it's not in the same place, it's just confusing for them. People can think that this system is so vulnerable, but like, I don't think I've lost, occasionally I think a raccoon has reached through the wire and cut the throat on a chicken or something, but that's only for the first few days when we're training them to sleep in the back away from the wire. But it's really just it just works really, really well. And it seems so simple, it seems so, I don't know, rudimentary or unsophisticated, but it just works, and it works really well. They'll tell you that it's too much work. We don't have that problem either. We can move these cages and feed and water them twice a day in probably about an hour and 15 minutes a day to maintain all these birds. And so it's a very slick, very easy system to operate, and it results in the healthiest, cleanest birds possible for our customer. And it just makes beautiful meat and beautiful soup, beautiful broth, and then when you're done, beautiful pasture. The pasture just explodes behind all of that evenly spread chicken manure. And again, without a diesel tractor, without stink. When we spread our chicken manure, it doesn't stink up the countryside. We're not offending our neighbors. It's the clean and moral and ethical and righteous way of raising a bird, for sure.